Xin chao, what's up everybody? All right, in this video we're going to talk about Novi Group, in particular Novi World. There's been some things going on with them. I'm not going to get into like a lot of the stuff. You can kind of look it up if you want. There's a bit of issues going on internally there. I think they've replaced the director, the CEO, all kinds of people on the board of it. So we're going to get into what they just did. They essentially rug pulled a bunch of people that have invested in their products, mainly their housing. So I'm going to read an article, we're going to talk about it, and it's kind of a cautionary tale of being very wary of buying into these projects before they're finished and assessing the value and seeing if that's really the value. Like, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff because this is actually something I'm pretty knowledgeable about, because I'm pretty into the real estate here and the rental of apartments in different areas, and just all around really knowledgeable about all that stuff. I've seen a lot of the projects. I've pre-looked at a lot of stuff, so I think I can add quite a bit of pretty good insight to this. So that's what we're gonna do, you know. If you like this video, it'd be cool if you subscribe to the channel. That helps me out. If not, no worries. So let's get into Let's get into it. Couple hotties over here. Like that. Homebuyers panic as Novi Land halts interest payment assistance. And yes, I walked over here just to get that Novi Land type deal. Oh, cute. I'm too old though. I'm like, old man. Hai bought a villa worth Vietnamese dong 12 billion, which is way too steep. That's about 500,000 USD from Novi Land using cash and a Vietnamese dong 5 billion bank loan after Vietnam's fourth biggest property developer pledged to cover most of the interest. So this is what Novi pulled out, is that they said that they would cover the interest. But now Ha doesn't know how she's going to pay because the company has reneged on its commitment. In late 2021, Ha bought her villa at the Aqua City project, which is still under construction in Binh Hoi, the capital town of Dong Nai province. At that time, Novi Land had pledged to cover an annual interest rate of 9% for 24 months. See, that's what I was telling you guys. Like, people are like, we're commenting, you can get long-term loans here. There's not many places that are going to give you long-term loans here. Most of them are for a short period of time. We're talking 2 to 5 years. There's a few 10-year loans to cover a huge amount of debt, like something that we would do in a 30-year mortgage in America. So it's you've got to be cash liquid here to really buy this stuff. If you're going to efficiently buy it without the worry of getting in trouble, like through a bank loan and paying crazy interest, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of people over here today. Cathedral is still not getting worked on. Maybe it'll get finished by 2050. Maybe the subway will finish by 2099. Who knows? I'll probably be long gone in the ground before any of this stuff gets finished. I kid. These are jokes. They're jokes. But earlier this year, Novi Land suddenly announced it would stop assisting customers with their interest payments, effectively asking Ha to pay all the interest. The developer has said it would refund her and other buyers the money later when they receive their property's ownership certificates. Sure. I don't know when I will receive the refund because the project has been delayed and I don't even have enough money to pay interest. These things are so annoying. Absolutely no need for the speaker. Ugh. It doesn't seem like it would be annoying, but like if you're in a neighborhood, like my first apartment, I would hear the Ompia lady coming by all the time. She'd wake my shit up, man. It's because everything volume-wise here that they put on a speaker is maximum volume. So I'm gonna just stand here while I read this, since people don't like to watch me walk around on Win Way so much anymore. So we'll just stand here. Not particularly easy to like walk and read off my phone and then do a good dialogue. noting that the construction of her unfinished villa has halted since December 2022. So what does this tell you as you read this? Why would you think they would do that? I think what they're trying to do is get the people to scramble to pay to get the rest of the money to try to finish the project because they're out of money. Is almost what all indicators are pointing to. Or to make them liquidate at a sharp fine. I really want to liquidate the contract to get my money back, even though I know I will be fine. But Novi Land said they don't have much money to pay me back. Well, they don't have my money to pay me back. So they can't even pay them back if they liquidate it right now. What this is sounding like to me is a collapse of a company. I can't confirm that. I don't know that, but this just doesn't seem good. The only place that I know that hasn't had some kind of problem like this is Vinhomes, oddly. And people like to crap on Vinhomes, but a lot of their projects get finished or they get properly sold and then finished out, like the one next to my old apartment in Golden River. According to real estate expert Nguyen, such a fine is often equivalent to 20 or 30% of the contract's value, sometimes even higher. And in the current economic climate, it would be difficult for Ha to resell the villa at a lower price because market liquidity is low and her loan is becoming a bad debt. Stopping the interest rate assistance has put me in a deadlock situation, Ha bemoaned. Nguyen, a resident of Ho Chi Minh City's Thu Duc City, said she is now sitting on fire after Novi Land announced it would stop helping her pay interest this month. She bought a villa at the Novi Land Phan Thip project in central province of Bintang at a price of nearly 14 billion. What? Here's the first thing that's the problem with these. Why are you buying a 14 billion villa that you know is not worth 14 billion? And second, you don't have even close to enough money for it. These are poor choices that were allowed by companies. You know, this is kind of how we had our housing crash. Hello. You know, it's as simple as that. If you start giving bad loans, guess what? People are going to default on them. It's as simple as that. And no, I'm not like some genius or anything like this, but I know shit about this shit, okay? Some 60% of the cost came from a bank loan with an annual interest rate of 12%. With Novi Land's interest assistance, she only had to pay a rate of 2%. So it sounds like, you know, call me crazy, but this sounds like this was kind of maybe planned. If you kind of look at it, I don't know. I think they're just completely out of money from what I'm assessing on this situation. Now she has to pay all the interest of 12%, amounting to hundreds of millions of dong per month. Imagine having a 300 million dong a month interest payment on a property that's not even finished or halfway done. You've got to really, you're not thinking through your decisions at that point. I'm not calling these people stupid, but they got caught up in a pitch and they believed it and they were told it was going to be worth XXX and get done at XXX and that they would be assisted through XXX. If it sounds too good to be true, guess what? It's too good to be true. This is with anything in life. I can't arrange the cash flow to pay interest. I'm considering liquidating the contract, paying a fine of billions of dong, or switching to another property with a lower price to reduce the financial burden, Nguyen said. Nguyen, and many other homebuyers are on tender hooks now because liquidating their contracts to get money back is not feasible, as the property developer has no cash left. According to Novi Land, it had to stop interest assistance and it applied to most projects because since mid-2022, the global economic situation has fluctuated dramatically, affecting many aspects of the real estate market. No. I think there's something to that, but I think it's more so you were overselling this shit for too much money and you overextended yourself and you're out of money now. It pretty much is as simple as that, the way I read it. Higher inflation, tightened credit, and rising interest have also affected many businesses, and Novi Land is no exception, according to the developer. Records show that most Novi Land homebuyers borrowed money from VP Bank, TP Bank, MBB Bank. However, most of the borrowers began working with the banks after Novi Land announced the stoppage of its interest assistance. The manager of a listed bank said the lender would reduce interest rates by 2 percentage points if its borrowers accept Novi Land's plan. Homeowners pay all the interest first and Novi Land will refund later. Don't hold your breath. That's all I'm going to say. Do not hold your breath. Currently, VB Bank and TB Bank have not released any information about policies regarding support for borrowers who are Novi Land customers. Maybe buyers should think twice and go do their homework before buying into these paper projects, which are hugely overpriced, no red book, not many legal rights, nor trustworthy. I'm letting to see that greed and limited knowledge can lead to these buyers getting into problems. That's one of the main comments. Banks have an awful lot of unfinished property on the books, so the level of bad debt is frankly catastrophic. How can they contain this when people start defaulting now? Do these properties worth 600K USD have a real market when built, or is it entirely speculative? So here's my opinion on that. I've looked at a tremendous amount of apartments and building projects and apartments getting built and supposedly sold for $1 million for a 1-bedroom. And what do I think? What is my real opinion? I think they're all extremely overpriced. I think most of them. I think Mastery's next to the Golden River. They're trying to sell a 1-bedroom, 60 square meter for pretty much it's 1.1 million now, because they say their pre-orders have sold out, which I find hard to believe for the 995, right under $1 million price point. Who's buying these, and what are they going to rent for? Like, if you bought that 60 square meter apartment at the Masteries and you bought it for $1 million, just to even start to break even anytime soon, you'd have to get $4,000 a month rent for that apartment. Who in the F is renting in an apartment, even if they're rich, for $4,000 a month in Vietnam? Who? And that's a 1-bedroom. You start getting up to the Shree and the 4-bedroom, you're talking $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month for rent. You're talking LA prices, New York prices, in a city that has none of the infrastructure that either one of those cities have, even though LA has a terrible public mass transportation system and stuff like this. But these prices are not equaling what these things are worth. And these things need to fail. These people need to see that they lose money. I don't want anybody to lose money, but this whole like trying to make this fake market here of where shit's worth a bunch of money is just not accurate. It's not a way to conduct business. And, you know, is the Masteries even going to finish? I highly doubt it. I do not foresee the Masteries project with the Marriott. And by the way, the Marriott's not really involved at all. All they did was buy rights to the name. So there's no one from the Marriott overseeing the Masteries project. You know, Masteries already pulled out of another one of their projects across from Benton Market. So I mean, you can already see, just by them dropping that project, which was going to be their other flagship project to the one in Ben Mee in District 1, somebody's running out of money too. And it's because they all started these crazy projects and thought they could get all these investors from around the world to pay these crazy exorbitant prices for these apartments, and that would all be fine. Well, guess what? It doesn't look like it's all going to be fine. And I think we're going to see a lot of bad debt, a lot of bad loans coming up in the next year to 2 years. And it's not going to be good. But hopefully it'll level out the housing market. It'll start to drop the rent back down as it should be. There's no way in hell that a Vinhomes Golden River 1-bedroom is worth $1,100 USD. The prices that they're trying to ask for this stuff, because they see that the project next door is going to be so expensive, is insane. And then it also comes to the greed of the homeowner. It's getting to a point of where it's maximum velocity and things are going to start crashing, and then it's all going to come crumbling down, in my opinion. Again, these are my opinions from my experience and seeing how the housing market has been flowing here for about 4 years now. I think the prices for this stuff, like if you ask me, when I went and looked at that Masteries project, the pre-buy, they had a whole showroom and you got to see the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom. I looked at them all. If you asked me what that 1-bedroom was worth, it was exactly the same as Golden River with tiles on the wall, like fancy marble on the wall, a nicer toilet. It was the same exact stuff. I would put that price at a high end of $500K. $500K. And that's for like a 2-bedroom, a deluxe 2-bedroom. You're talking a 1-bedroom, I'd probably be somewhere at $350, maybe $300. And these are still super high prices for that stuff. You know, I couldn't foresee really ever paying that. To actually get 1.1 million for a 1-bedroom there is absolutely ludicrous. There's another building called the Mark that is trying to sell their apartments for some exuberant price, and they seem to be failing. They got the project finished, but they have a crap ton of inventory for sale, all at these ridiculously high prices that most likely are never going to sell. So I just thought I'd give you the information on that. Beware. I'm never going to buy anything in Vietnam. It's on a 50-year lease, essentially. What business would I have doing that? I can't hand it down to somebody. What if Uncle Hoach wants it back? All kinds of things could happen. With that kind of uncertainty, I would not see any point to buying an apartment. It just, you know, for me, that's like a bet that's going to go bad, guaranteed. In my opinion, you know, I'm not keen to buy anything really in Southeast Asia. I wouldn't even buy land. A lot of guys, and props to them, they buy all this land and shit with their wife. You know, you never know how things are going to go down. And one guy, one of my buddies, is like, well, the government has to give you half of what you get when you're married. Yeah, as a tourist or a foreigner, good luck on that, dude. Good luck if that really works. I promise you it probably doesn't. And I promise you she could sell that shit out from underneath you. I've heard no less than 5 stories of where the dude wasn't here, just like my buddy. And to report back on that, she successfully sold everything. And it doesn't sound like he's going to get any money. She took a hit on the apartment, sold it, all of it's gone. So that's the video. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Stay frosty. Peace out.